This day didn't really suffer much from the sudden lack of gym equipment that my home gym has suffered recently, mainly because it was a Plyo day, which was organized as the usual giant set, where I'm doing a Plyo exercise and then something for the upper body, another Plyo, another upper body, and another Plyo. So it's 5 exercises in total, and I was supersetting stuff with some pressing movements. As the previous day I was doing some pulling stuff. I was going to get a few handstands, mainly as a warm-up, because I was getting back to doing some wall-assisted handstand push-up eccentrics. The lack of the dumbbells made it so that I couldn't do any overhead pressing, and seated overhead pressing had been giving me some discomfort in my piriformis while I was sitting with some extra weight on me. So I was getting in some tricep work on top of the pressing work, just because I think it pairs well together. I am able to work the triceps in both the long head with this isolation and also with the handstand push-ups. And as I was saying in the previous one, cable exercises are providing a constant resistance profile. So I think that they are a safe way to work that muscle, or any muscle for that matter. Jumps, since I didn't have any dumbbells, I wasn't able to do any weighted jumps, so I opted for just normal squat jumps that I was putting at the end of the giant set. I wanted to get some unilateral work as a priority, so I was doing some one leg bounding for both legs, and then I was also getting in some lateral jumping in between. So a bit of a complete package for the Plyo day, which I have been neglecting somewhat, as recently I was getting more into learning sprinting mechanics, proper sprint starts, in preparation for the summer, where I want to get some more sprint work done. Now this is finally going back to some handstand push-up eccentrics, which I have not done for a very long time, and I don't really know why I stopped doing them. I think that I shifted more towards overhead pressing as a whole, but I feel like getting some more variation is a very good thing, especially since this had been a goal of mine for quite some time, and because now my shoulder feels okay, I don't see the reason why I should not do them. What I noticed right off the bat is that I am not really able to maintain good core bracing, and so my low back tends to collapse inwards a little bit, and maybe I could do with more forward head movement, so letting my torso move forward a little more. That should give some extra space for my torso to stay tight and rigid, and also load the shoulders a bit more. It's going to be more challenging, but I don't feel like I am at risk of losing control on any of those repetitions, which were very low. I just did 2 sets of 3 in the first one and 2 in the second one. In the future, I might actually consider approaching this as I do now with the Nordic curls. So I do some handstands as a warm-up, then I do 1 set of 2 reps, and as a second set and final set, I'm doing 3 reps on that, and then slowly work back up to what I was doing before. I remember I was doing sets of 5, but every minute on the minute last year, so I might be reintroducing that as a variation for that, but I don't feel I should be doing them more than once a week. I'm already doing kind of enough pressing, and I want to keep the variation in. So if I do some overhead pressing, then another time during the week I'm going to do some handstand push-up work. The handstand push-up is probably, with the very high explosive pull-up, the only real calisthenics goal that I have in the medium term. So another thing that I should be going back to working more frequently and with more emphasis is the high pull-ups, explosive pull-ups, which are going to come later in the week. Basically when I'm going to the commercial gym. This home gym here, although it doesn't have any weights right now, only has that pull-up station that is there in the back. which isn't really tall enough for a start, and then the ceiling isn't really too high. So this is not exactly the perfect place to do some explosive pull-up work. Outside, there are a few bars. There's a fat bar, which is not really good for that either. And then there are the monkey bars. So I might be doing that in the gym simply because the bar setup is a bit more congenial to the task. Overall, this was a good session. I'm glad that the way that I've structured my program, especially when I'm working from the home gym, isn't really over-reliant on the equipment, so that I can always get some work done and not get set back too much. Ciao.